Hey, what is up, guys? So today I want to make a different type of video. I wanted to give you kind of what goes through my head during one of these league races I do. Very competitive racing, and kind of got inspiration to do a video like this from TRL Limitless, who's kind of like the main F1 competitive racing guy. And I thought it'd be cool to kind of, instead of just giving you my league races just raw video, I could kind of commentate over them and kind of explain to you what I'm doing and what I'm thinking and how I approach it. So let's get into it. So pretty much off the start, I don't really have any technique. I just start in neutral. I do go for timing the gate because you don't really you're not going to lose too much if you go for it. As you see, I go for the time, mess it up, but I still get a good jump. And pretty much the whole goal off the start is survival. As you see, I'm just holding my line, letting the carnage happen, and it actually works out great. Our good starting spot puts us in the top 3, and this is perfect for the race. All our main competitors are really behind us, so I'm already thinking in my head, okay, all the guys I know that can probably have a shot at keeping up with me, I know that they're all behind me, so I just got to get by this one guy, and can just pretty much start setting sail. As you see here, I kind of make a inside pass on him, trying to get a quick pass and set sail, but actually this guy came to play and he wanted to battle for a few laps, and it was actually really cool. Premium STR. We had a good couple of laps of racing. So I was just pretty much trying to set sail, really. I did not want any part of the absolute train that was behind me, if you could see by the map. So really my goal in these opening laps is to kind of be patient, but also try putting in good laps to set sail. It's kind of hard at first because in the way this league works is that they have if you qualify first, you go straight to A main. So I qualified first and pretty much didn't race for about 2 hours. So coming into this A main, it kind of took me a little while to get warm. As you see, this guy just kind of smoked me in that inside there. But I was not trying to really get caught too up in it because I knew if I got into a heated battle, I went for the pass back right here. It was kind of aggressive, didn't mean to touch him, but I saw the opportunity and just kind of went for it. I see we're kind of battling. He does get me back there. It wasn't intentional, but luckily I'm able to keep it. And I think from here on out, I just try putting in super good laps, and that pretty much, when you get a gap like that, then you can start worrying about managing it and other stuff. So let's see if I could, I don't know if this is the point in the race where I do this, but I think it is. As soon as I get this premium guy off me, it's pretty much just smooth sailing. As you see, he passes me one more time, I think. Yeah, there it is. In this scenario, I did not want to crash into the finish line and get any sort of weird reset glitch. I was just trying to be safe as possible. I let him have it. I know I probably end up getting him back later on. I had the confidence to just be patient. It's really important to be patient in the first 3 to 5 minutes of these races, because if you're not patient, then you kind of rush your passes and you rush the track and override a little bit, and then you just start crashing and going backwards. So really just being patient with premium, making good passes. And then I think now, yeah, he makes a mistake here, gives me a gap, and here's when I start going for my heaters. Good lap around this track's a 101, so I just started running consistent 101s for a few laps. And once you get it out to a nice little gap, you can start worrying about other things. So as soon as I got past premium, I put down a 101.9. Not the best lap, but it's enough to start pulling away from the guys behind me. The other guys that can run that pace are kind of still battling in that pack, as you can see it by the map. So I just put my first 101.9 down, and my whole goal at this point is just lap time. I'm just pretty much, when you have a gap and you're not really being challenged, I just treat it as if I'm just going for heaters. Try clicking off laps after lap and just do the best lap you can every lap. I'm pushing pretty hard at this time. I'm not really... I'm like pushing comfortably at what I know I could do. I'm not gonna like go for some crazy heater, even though I feel like I had the comfort on this track specifically to push pretty hard. So I'm just gonna pretty much try running 101s for about 5 laps ish, like anything from a 101 to a low 102. Laps like those will help you pull away from the pack. So I see here, what lap do I run? I think it's an even better 101. Yeah, look, 101.4. As you see, the gap's just growing a little bit more. And I think I do a couple more of these. And once I do a couple of these, I pretty much can just go straight into cruise control. Last lap I ran a 101.4, and then I backed it up again with an even better 101.3. And at this point, now that I have 2 really good laps back to back. You could see the gap is just getting really nice, and I just got to do a couple more to get it into cruise control range where I really feel like I can't be caught unless someone puts in insane pace. So I think I do a couple more of these and then I'm into cruise control range. So as you can see here, I actually slightly beat my time again. So that's a 101.4, a 101.3, and then an even better 101.3 back to back to back. And those 3 laps I think completely just won me the race, really. When you could do that in clean air, it's really helpful. And like I said, I'm just stressing the cruise control because 20 minutes really is a long time for these races, and it's good to be able to just have the ability to not have to worry about anyone really on you, so you're able to kind of kick it back and just bring it home at this point, really. Now I just made my first little like mistake there, and I think from there on out I just kind of toned it down a little bit. I think I did end up running a slightly better lap, but that was just one lap. The rest of the laps were either high 101s or 102s. Okay, so it's been like 6 laps or so, or 6 minutes, and I've been just maintaining the gap, not letting the guys behind me get too close, but not really pulling away that much, not pushing as hard as I want to. Now, what I mean when I say like kick it down a gear, I mean not pushing every single inch of the track. Like as you could see, if you watch me through these flat corners, I'm letting off a little bit early. I'm rolling the corners a little bit earlier, or a little longer. I'm not getting into the highest of wheelies. I'm scrubbing a little bit more and not wheeling as much. And stuff like this is slower, but it's pretty much my type of cruise control. And you can make it work for pretty similar lap times if you do it right. Just try making up time where it's easy. Just do the rhythms correctly, and then don't worry about pushing so hard. Like for example, this section right here, you're gonna be like heavy braking into these whoops that become pretty much braking bumps. You could push into those really hard, but you have the chance of going over the bars or something like that. At that point in this race, when I've already done my heaters to pull away, I could just let off a little bit earlier than I want to and just do it an easy way. And same here, you don't have to push into this over under. You could let off a little bit earlier, get on the gas a little later, and you probably won't even lose that much time, but you just feel more comfortable doing so. And when you could just do this and cruise around and run really good laps, like this is still a 101.5, and I'm not even like pushing as hard as I feel like I could. It's just perfect. So it's important to have obviously your raw speed, because if you don't have like if you don't have the ability to run fast laps, it's really hard to go into cruise control, because then you feel like the people that can run your best lap every lap are just going to be pulling away because they're just naturally faster. So it's important to obviously have the speed, but once you're in these races, you could just find a way to click off laps. Like I'll give a few examples. Hockey Drew, second place rider in this race as of right now, he pretty much does exactly what I'm talking about. Just runs his pace, consistent, and he just can run solid laps every lap. Also, another rider that's probably the most notorious for this, Talon, he's probably like got, I don't know, mid-pack speed, but he could literally just put in these rides where he's just like, how is he even in third still? Because he just runs the same lap every lap and is flawless. I've yet to crash in this race, and I think that's another big part of it. And I'm sure Hockey Drew didn't crash. I'm sure Squally probably made a few mistakes, but not many. And that's pretty much what separates people. This game is not very, like, the skill gap is not too high in this game. So the ability to just stay on the bike and run consistent laps is probably the best ability to have in these races. It's one thing to be like a time attack god, but to have the ability to do this in these races, I think, is a completely other aspect of this game that is not really like, it's not something that you could just, it's hard to practice for, is what I should say. But yeah, at this point in the race, 4 minutes left, I'm just pretty much bringing it home. And hopefully or not hopefully because I know what happened, but yeah, just going to cruise it in for the first win of the season at AOSX, and hopefully you could do it again next week. I will show my only crash of the race. It was right here. I just got on the gas a little too early and slid out. I should have entered that turn a little wider. But yeah, that's pretty much the only crash I had this race. I had a bunch of, I had little mistakes, but not many crashes. Lap rider was able to get by me again. And pretty much, that was pretty much the only kind of big thing that happened in those like 15 minutes I was out front. I will show this funny clip of Vapor dying because he's my friend, and we gotta embarrass him for the YouTube. And he almost killed me too. Let's see this. Oh my god. Luckily I was able to get on the brakes and kind of roll that whoop section. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this little insight slash tutorial slash what goes on through my head. I'll probably do more of these. Not every race goes this smooth for me. Sometimes I have the bad start and I have to pass like 10 guys just to get to the front. And those races will probably be way more interesting to narrate and give my opinions on, because sometimes I don't really have a plan. Sometimes it's just go as hard as I can and try passing people as fast as possible. That type of mentality in that scenario. But in this situation, I think it's good to show how to, just not give it your 110% and push every inch of the track, and just kind of take it in sections. You have your start, which is pretty much patience and survival. Once you get your gap and your opening, bin it for a few laps, give it as much as you can, run some heaters, and then once you have a gap, it's just management. And that's pretty much how I take my races when I have a good start. When I have a bad start, like I said, it's a completely different story. It's pretty much just all out, try to not let the lead group get away. If the lead group gets away, it's pretty hard to make that up. Sometimes it just depends. But yeah, guys, hopefully this helped you, and it was cool to give my insight. And if you guys want to race a Supercross league on PlayStation, hit up AOSX on Instagram. They host probably the biggest English league on PlayStation. It's probably the main league I will be focusing on racing. So yeah, guys, hopefully see you there, and I'll probably make some more of these videos as the season goes on. I don't know if I'll do it for every race, but I'll try doing it for the exciting ones. I know this race wasn't the most exciting to watch from my POV, but I promise you there will be a race where everything just goes wrong, and I will try making a video for that one. So yeah, guys, catch you in the next one.